Hey guys, welcome back to AstroBeauty, where makeup and moon signs come together to help us get through life. Today, the moon is in Pisces, and in this video, I am going to create this Neptune-inspired sea green makeup look. So come hang out with me for the next little while I put together my Pisces-themed makeup look and talk about the astrology as the moon goes into Pisces over the next couple days. Let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are with the full face makeup for the moon in Pisces for this October Libra cycle. Today for my Pisces look, I wanted to kind of channel the more Neptunian color scheme, so I'm kind of going with like a monochrome of like blue-green, like aqua, kind of like deeper, like turquoise-ish, those shades. Because I kind of want to just do like the sea green, pretty like Neptune shades type vibe for today. So that's what I'm going to do with my makeup. I am going to go in with a couple shades. I got this new Love Stoned palette from Pacifica, and I think this is the coolest palette ever because like these are all the colors. They're really pretty colors, but they're also all named after like different precious stones. And on the inside, it talks about like all of the stones. Like for example, the shade I'm going to use today, Aquamarine right here. It says attributes like positive and cleansing, chakra, throat, celestial, Uranus, and Neptune. And I was wondering what I should use it for, but I wasn't really feeling it for Aquarius the other day, but I'm definitely feeling it for Pisces, for Neptune. So I actually based my whole look around this palette, this color. And so I'm just going with a bunch of different shades just because I think it's so fun having a makeup brand that incorporates like some of astrology into what they do. And so I'm making my whole look today around this little blurb of information. Oh, and it also says elements air and water, uses, regains emotional balance, clears negative energy, protects travelers. And those things would be good for us today as the moon is going through Pisces, so that's what we're going to do. But anyways, for the look that I'm going to do, well, let's just get into it. Let me start priming my eyes and not waste more time in my perpetual pursuit to shorten my videos. All right, So this is my Magic Eyeshadow Primer from the All Natural Face, which I always use. Let me put that on so we can get started. And I'll talk about the astrology. All right. So first of all, just like general, like ongoing astrology, what we have to report today is, first off, the past couple, yesterday, or like while the moon was going through the end of Aquarius, or while the moon was going through Aquarius, there was a Mercury-Uranus opposition. And that is like kind of significant because that's like shocks, surprises, information, like messages coming out of nowhere, things that you weren't expecting, just like shocks. But because it's Mercury, it's also, or like learning really surprising things. And the reason that I'm bringing this back up is because I forgot to say in my Aquarius video that simultaneously, while this is happening, the sun is squaring Saturn. So, I mean, when I'm making this video, this hasn't happened yet. So I'm really interested to see like what plays out with all of this. But it seems like that would have brought some significant things. A Uranus-Mercury opposition, shocking information, simultaneously while the sun is squaring Saturn. And that's like tension created between like authority, rules, long-standing situations, and like kind of what we want to do, the sun, like the purpose, the essence. It's just like, it's a conflict, like a major conflict between like the willpower and the rules, simultaneous with that opposition. So I don't exactly know how that plays out yet, but I feel like that may do some things. So that would have just happened as the moon was going through Aquarius. And now the moon is going into Pisces. All right, so I'm going to start with this rose quartz color. I'm just going to lay this down as a base layer. Now, another thing that is happening, like that happened simultaneous to that, is Venus moved into Scorpio. And because we're talking about the moon in Pisces, Pisces is a water sign. It's mutable water. And because it's a mutable sign, we know that it is making aspect to Jupiter, who's also an immutable sign. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. For now, I just want to say that Mercury has already entered into Scorpio. And so, well, it entered like a few days ago. And Venus is just recently now entered into Scorpio also. And so those energies now in Scorpio are forming a trine to your sign, Pisces, where the moon is now, and also the Black Moon and Neptune conjunction that you guys are housing in your sign, and you have been for quite a while, and you will continue to for a little while longer. Now, I am going to go into the All Natural Face, some of my samples, and this shade is called Ocean Green. You can't see it, but you might be able to see it when I go like this. This is a matte shade. It's so pretty. It's just like, like an aqua, darker, not like jade, like sea green, but more blue. It's really like quite perfect for what I'm looking for. And like I said, it's matte. So this is what I'm going to use like in my crease. And I'm also going to use it under my eye. And then I think that I'm going to put this aquamarine color over my lid and kind of have it like lighter on the lid and then darker through the crease. So we'll see how it goes. I've not done this. I don't know how it will come out, but we're going to experiment and I guess we'll find out. So yeah, we got those planets that just moved into Scorpio, Venus and Mercury. And so they're now forming a trine to the planets in your sign, and your sign, and the moon as it goes through your sign. And if you remember, the North Node right now is in Cancer. So that's the third water sign. So now that we have planets coming into Scorpio, they are forming a grand trine that will be like sustained as long as the planets are in Scorpio. And because of the nature of the trine, it means that there is generally just like it's a helpful, blessed, assisting aspect. So the planets as they come into Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars and Pluto, are going to be assisting us in our Black Moon Neptune endeavors that are helping us to like clear our karma, like clear our shadow side issues so that we can like elevate ourselves to a higher level of being. That's what we got so far. I'm just gonna kind of do this a little bit more, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with the other side. So yeah, we have that grand trine that is going to be going on while, now I'm just going to go underneath. I'm just going to go around my eye and keep talking. So yeah, now we have this trine, and I feel like ultimately that's a good thing in helping us. And also, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, but also Pluto, and Pluto's very involved. I mean, it's the Pluto-Saturn conjunction that's coming up that all of these, like, whenever the North Node is involved, because the South Node is involved with Pluto, I feel like it's, like, working to help us come to our destiny, like, align with our higher selves, like, what our purpose, mission is in this lifetime, because that's what the North Node, like, the destiny point, represents. And so I feel like when there's aspects to that right now, we're kind of being helped along in that process. And when things have to do, like Pluto's very much a part, I'm like really liking this so far. Pluto's very much a part, now I'm going to do the other side, of these like things that are going on because of the conjunction with Saturn in the South Node. And so it makes like even more sense to me that as planets go through Scorpio and trine the North Node, they would be like helping and assisting us with that Pluto-Saturn South Node situation because it's in Scorpio, the sign that Pluto rules. And the association just like adds more like evidence to me that, you know, Scorpio is assisting us this month. And so let's talk a little bit about the new moon for you guys, and then we can talk about as the moon goes through, you know, what energies are going to be in effect, because the moon is only in each sign for like 2 or 3 days, and so it's only a very short period of time. So yeah, let's talk about the new moon for you Pisces and how it like may be playing out for you guys generally this month. The new moon, and because you guys have right now the Black Moon and Neptune in your sign, you guys are like housing that energy right now. And if you have like your sun or your moon or different planets in closer proximity to this, I went a little bit higher up on this one, of course I did, then you are definitely feeling this energy. And Neptune likes to like dissolve things. Like it likes to either bring clarity or confusion. It's like our ideals. And so it can tend to either like bring like fantasizing, like fantasy land situations, or like a desire to kind of like retreat and dissolve or not really like face issues. It can also bring like clarity and confusion about things. And so like for you guys with Neptune having been there and being there right now, and especially with the Black Moon, you might be experiencing a lot of like just confusion or clarity or like depression or like just not really like like lack of energy, not really like super motivated or inspired. And just generally like feeling like close to issues that have been more like in the shadows or more, hidden, or things that you haven't really wanted to address or look at, or maybe you didn't even know were there. So that's kind of like what the black moon is. And like with Neptune, yeah, it's tough, guys. But like I said, I truly believe that this combination in Pisces is really helping us like do really necessary work psychologically, like, because Pisces is the sign of like the spiritual world and the higher self and the spiritual connection and the spiritual plane. And like I just feel like with this combination going on in Pisces, there's like some type of more like spiritual type awakening or like perspective, or I don't know. We just really need to try to merge with our higher selves and clear out our baggage, our shadows, our traumas, stuff like that. That's really like the main thing that I think this black moon is doing. And I think because like I said, it's in trine to the destiny point, the North Node, which is like where we're going after this conjunction. I really just think that this is assisting us. And so with that being said, for you guys, you Pisces right now that are like, if you have a lot of planets there, then that energy is fused with your electromagnetic frequencies right now. And that is, kind of a big deal. But anyways, all that being said, I'm going to go back over now with some of that quartz color and just kind of like blend this up a little bit. All that being said, at the new moon in Libra, Libra's ruler Venus was making some really nice aspects to your sign and the planets, the black moon and Neptune in your sign, and also to Jupiter, which is currently in square to your sign. And that's another thing, Pisces, that we have to keep in mind right now, is not only are you holding the sustained energy of the Neptune black moon conjunction in trine to the North Node, but you also have an ongoing square with Jupiter, and it's going to be there like another 2 months, I think. And Jupiter and Neptune in square kind of like tests sort of like our grasp on like reality and our ability to put like our ideals into practice. Like Neptune, like squaring Jupiter, like what's real, and can I like create this ideal in this actual like world? And there's like a conflict in tension between those two things. Like Jupiter wants to expand, Neptune is what's real, sort of, All right, now I am going to go into this aquamarine color, which is the inspiration for my whole AstroBeauty look. I mean, how much more AstroBeauty can you get than planning your makeup look off of a astrology inspired makeup palette? Thank you, Pacifica. There's more than one reason that I love this brand. All right, so yes, this is what I'm going to do next. I just need to choose my brush, which will be best. Let me see. Yeah, you guys, so at the new moon, Venus was making the ruler of Libra, was making a really nice aspect to your sign and the planets in your sign. And I feel like Venus and the black moon have sort of a special relationship. And you should read Laura Walker fantastic, amazing astrologer. Her book on the Black Moon, to like understand it a little bit better. She's pretty much like, I think like the only person that's written a book about it, so she knows. And it's free. And you can get that if you go to oraclereport.com. And that would probably be very helpful, like if you want to like really understand the energetics right now. It's turning out nice. But yes, Venus and the Black Moon are kind of like two sides of the same coin. And they're kind of like the yin and the yang of the feminine energy, sort of. And they were making like a nice, assisting, blessed aspect for the new moon. And that's also to your sign. And they were making a sext, and Venus was also making a sextile to Jupiter. And these were very close, like almost near exact aspects. So I think that, you know, yes, it's, you know, and especially since this was a cardinal sign and we do have this, it wasn't square to the South Node and Saturn, Pluto. So, you know, a lot of like changes, activity, tension happening surrounding the major changes, transformations that are coming, you know, towards the end and beginning of the year. But this is so pretty. I am obsessed with the way this is looking right now. So pretty. I actually think I'm going to put a little bit of setting spray on this and see if I can make it just even a little more pretty. Okay. So, yeah, this is so gorgeous. So pretty. So I feel like, especially for you Pisces people, you guys are getting, I think you guys are going to get a lot of help this month. It might not be the easiest month, but there's a lot of like help out there for you. And I mean that in terms of the aspects, like I said, at the new moon, Venus was making a really blessed aspect to the planets, the big hard planets in your sign right now. And also, I'm going to go under my eye just a little bit more with my ocean green, just to darken it up a tiny bit. And then I'm going to curl my eyelashes. I don't think I'm going to use a black liner today either. So, yeah, like, I feel like there's assistance coming from Venus to you guys because of where she was at the new moon. And also, when the moon goes into Pisces, Venus will have just moved into Scorpio, which, like I said, trines your sign and your planets in your sign. And Mercury is also in Scorpio. And Venus and Mercury together, like, they make things happen. And they do this through, like, attracting effortlessly. Like, just attracting things effortlessly. And so, with Mercury and Venus in trine to your sign for, like, the remainder of the month, well, and until they move out, I feel like you're going to have more of a Venetian mercurial type of like assistance coming to you, or just like feeling like a stronger desire to maybe like learn, or like the information that you receive is of a more like pleasurable nature. Venus and Mercury moving into Scorpio in trine to your sign. I think that will be generally a good thing for you guys. And I also think that because of what was going on at the new moon with Venus and her aspect that she was making to your sign, yeah, I do feel for you guys so much, because that is a lot of like, what the heck is going on in my life energy. Like, not sure what's real, not sure what end is up, not sure if you understand everything or you understand nothing, like not sure if you should just like run away or escape or go to sleep and, I don't know, like check out of reality for a little bit. It's tough, but it's necessary. Like, it's super, super necessary, because especially because of that aspect that it's holding with the North Node and the Destiny point. Yeah, you just got to do it. But you have help. You have help. And Jupiter is there causing you to continuously, like, question the reality of the circumstances and the, like, practical ability that you have to create that in this, like, world somehow. So yeah, that's, like, kind of what I have to say about the general astrology of the circumstances that's going on right now for you guys, like since the new moon, and like how that might play out for you over the course of the next month. Now, in terms of the next couple days, while the moon goes through your sign, goes through Pisces, like I said, Venus has just moved into Scorpio and Mercury's already in Scorpio. And so the moon going in there is going to, like, so there's already a trine between the water sign planets. We have Cancer, the North Node. We have Pisces, Black Moon, Neptune, and the moon, because it's moving through this cycle. And then we have the planets in Scorpio, Venus and Mercury right now. And the sun will also move into Scorpio, but not for a couple more weeks, I think. And so the moon is our emotional trigger point. It's like our internal thought processes, is how we feel. And how we feel usually dictates a lot of what we do and how we act. And so that's why, like, the moon is kind of like more like a trigger point sort of for causing things to happen, because when we feel strongly about things, that's when we're more likely to take action and make things happen. And the moon, every time that it goes through Pisces while we have these ongoing situations, of course, it's going to conjunct those planets in your sign. And if you have your sun or a bunch of planets or your moon right there with that Neptune Black Moon conjunction, you're probably already like having a hard time dealing with like the way that you feel about things, or like maintaining like a certain level of clarity and like stability regarding like the practical sides of reality. And the moon going through there is probably just going to be like one of the times during the month where it's just kicked up an emotional level even more. Like, you're probably feel whatever you're feeling or what you've been feeling, you know, that maybe like during other times of the month you're able to kind of push under the rug a little bit more or not focus on. While the moon goes through, you're definitely probably like, that's probably going to be a time where you can't hide from your feelings as much, like one of the times a month. And because the moon is also in trine to the North Node in that sign, like, it's like you got to do it. It's like one of the times of the month where you just got to get the work done and like face the shadows and not hide from them. And I mean, the moon shines light. So maybe this Pisces is, you know, when the moon goes through your sign, it's a more emotional time. It makes you feel stronger and probably maybe not better, but it is also shining a light on those issues, and it's lining itself up with where you need to be and trying to get you to your higher self. So whatever happens when the moon goes through for you guys, especially, it is, you just got to deal with it. Try not to run from it. Try not to try to escape it. Just try to embrace it and dissolve into it. I mean, Neptune ultimately wants to heal, and the black moon wants to heal too, and wants to like look under the surface and uncover things. And you guys, this is my favorite 100% pure black green tea lengthening mascara, and it smells amazing and it works really well, and I'm doing my eyelashes right now. So like, yeah, as the moon goes through, it's really just urging you guys to clear out the trash, you know? Take out the trash. But again, because we have those planets, Venus and Mercury, that just moved into Scorpio. Venus and Mercury, that's a really like positive, beneficial combination, and they are right there in the same trine, assisting you guys. So maybe like you'll hear a beautiful song that just like inspires you and helps you like reconnect and like get maybe a different view or perspective on things and heals you in some way, or a beautiful poem, or maybe you'll write something or you'll create something, or someone will say something to you that like helps you in the process that you're in. Maybe beautiful art, or I don't know, just things having to do with love, beauty. Maybe your relationships will have like better communication, or you'll be able to like understand on a different level like your partner or something. Venus and Mercury in trine. There's a lot of ways that it might play out, but look how pretty, you guys. Oh. This green, honestly, is a tiny bit patchy. And I think it's because of the brush that I put it on with. I'm going to try just a little bit more to like even it out. All right, that's better. But yeah, something like that for you guys. You are having a lot of like demons to face, sort of, or yeah, but it's all trying to get you to like align and heal and fuse more with like unconditional love instead of maybe like fear or whatever like your particular shadow issues are. And that's the problem with shadow issues, is that they're in the shadow. So a lot of times we don't know, like consciously know that they're an issue. That's why I say so much subconscious programming, because a lot of times like when we're really, really little, before we can even really like consciously think, like we're exposed to behavior patterns over and over from the people around us that like create a programming in our subconscious mind, like not our conscious mind, what we think about, but like our subconscious mind, like how it runs our systems, kind of. And that like ultimately determines pretty much everything about our lives, because we think that we make decisions based on like our conscious thought processes, but in reality we like attract certain circumstances to ourselves based on what we believe in the back of our mind. Like regardless of whether we know it's true or not, like deeply instilled thought patterns ultimately are kind of like what control our realities. Because if you if let's use money for an example. Like if you grew up like really poor and you didn't have a lot of money and you've never known what it feels like to have money, like you've never known what it feels like to like truly have abundance, then it's going to be really difficult for you to like ever break into having money, because no matter how much you might want money or might think you want money, like you don't know what it feels like to actually have money. Like you're not open to the vibe in which people who have money like feel and like have money. And so in order to start attracting money and have more money and a lot of money in your life, you have to change not like what you're thinking consciously, but it's more like how you feel about yourself and the circumstances. Like you have to like reprogram your subconscious beliefs about money and bring yourself to a place where you can actually imagine what life is like having money all the time and like living that way. And then, you know, you'll be able to change your life and start like getting more money, but it doesn't happen the other way around. And that's kind of like just an example, but it can be extrapolated to pretty much like any issue. And that is something that I personally have had to come to terms with a lot. Like not about money, but like just a lot in general. You know, what you believe in the back of your mind, whether or not you think you believe it, a lot of times determines the circumstances that you find yourself in, because you are just used to certain scenarios and certain circumstances, and so like that is what you continually manifest for yourself. Anyways, weird long tangent, sorry about that. All right, so now I need to finish this up. I'm going to go ahead and get my under eye done real quick and slap on some blush on the lip, and we will be done with the super sea green Pisces look for today, which I am totally loving right now. Yes. So this is my beloved Pacifica liquid cover, full coverage, long-lasting concealer. I'm going to have to get more soon. I really love that stuff, and I use it all the time. So I'm just going to do this under eye and then throw on some blush and finish things up. And that's pretty much what I have to say for the astrology today also, you guys. The moon is just going to, as it always does, throw an extra like emotional infusion that then causes people to act. So, you know, it might just be a little bit more like of a downer these next couple days. And I don't mean like that to seem like a downer, like me being a downer, you know, by saying that, which I guess kind of it is, but I feel like it's like a healing crisis, like a catharsis type of situation that's going on right now with the black moon and Neptune. Like whenever I think about describing it, like especially with the Jupiter square, like that's like what I think about. Like I feel like that is like a healing crisis. And you know, if you haven't studied healing in the body, in medicine and stuff like that, then you probably like aren't necessarily that familiar with what a healing crisis is. But it's essentially like when when like you have something wrong with yourself for a really long time and then you start fixing it, but it feels worse at first. I guess kind of like breaking an addiction too. And that's funny because the 12th house, Pisces, that has a lot to do with addictions. So maybe in a way we're all breaking like our addiction to the past programming that we had. And it's, you know, it's like when you stop doing like a drug or something, anything, shopping, eating, like whatever, that you have been reliant upon and addicted to for a long period of time. All right, I'm going to throw a little bit of this 100% pure bamboo blur powder on now. This stuff is amazing. Like I can't say enough how much I love it. Like it feels really bad and people get like really sick and stuff when they're breaking addictions, even though what they're doing is healthy and necessary for them. And, you know, it's the same for a lot of other different like types of issues, or even like emotional health issues, like getting out of an abusive relationship or something like that. Like it feels awful, but you have to do it because it's what's best for you and it's what you need to be healed. And Neptune is like ultimately unconditional, like it's like healing, it's unconditional love. And so for that to be with the black moon is our shadows and our traumas. So yeah, like to me that just feels like a catharsis. Like it feels like from a really significant like healing crisis. Like it's necessary and we have got to go through this and we have got to do it, and we're going to be so much healthier and better on the other side. But it's not fun and it hurts and it feels so icky, especially if you're a Pisces and you have a lot of planets there. But you got to do it there's a lot of help too. You're not doing it alone. There's tons of love, especially in this new moon cycle with the aspects that Venus was making. Like, you're super supported, and there's a huge infusion of like divine love and blessings. And with Mercury and Venus now trining, like, information messages that could come to you to help you with your process. For my blush today, I'm using a Pacifica blush. This is my Pacifica blush in Camellia. I only have one of these. Actually, I have two Pacifica blushes, but only like one standing one, and I'm going to use this today. It's really pretty, and it goes good with the colors that I'm wearing. Also, if you saw in my intro, for my cheek base today, I used one of my all-time favorites, Pacifica, and their very first palette they ever made, their Solar palette. It's like this big book. But I'm not nuts about a lot of the stuff in there, although these shadows are like the ultimate of shimmers in those colors. They're super shimmery, and I do use them. This is the other Pacifica blush I had, and this is a Pacifica bronzer. Like, they only make these shades like in this book, which I don't think they make this book anymore, which really disappoints me. Maybe they do, but I couldn't find it on their website. But these 3 cream coconut multiples up here, this is the only place where they make these colors. And this one especially, I don't know if you can see it, but it is just like the nicest, like, shiny iridescent pink. I just love it. So I used that as my base for my cheeks today, and now I'm putting a little bit of this over the top. I guess I'm like basically just completely Pacifica'd out today, although I did use that really nice ocean green. Yeah, perfect. How awesome is that? Today is like the AstroBeauty, like, epitome of life. I have ocean green for my Neptune-themed look. Perfectly named color to go with my aquamarine, specifically designed for Neptune out of this Lovestone palette. So that's cool. All right, I don't want like a super bright cheek today, so I'm not going to do too much. But this color is like a really nice match for what I was going for. So yeah, guys, interesting times. We recently had the Uranus opposite Mercury, or Mercury opposite Uranus, and the Sun square Saturn to go around with it. Hey guys, let's try to follow the rules. Like, for the next like week or so, Sun square Saturn, we're just more likely to stay out of trouble and have success in life if we just try to play it by the book for the next few days, okay? That's some advice. Don't like try to be slick and get away with things, or like speed super fast, or like pull any shiesty moves, you know. Not with Saturn square the Sun. All right, what else? I need to throw a little bit more bronzer, a little bit more powder. I'm going to go back into my Physicians Formula bronzer that I've been using like really consistently, and just kind of warm it up, blend it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to go ahead, throw on my lip, and we'll call it a day. The astrology is, yeah, pretty much been stated. For you Pisces, it's just really about that Neptune and black moon, and making sure that you handle that to the best of your ability. Go through the crisis. Don't run from it. And the square to Jupiter. And like I said, now you have those planets moving into Scorpio, and they're going to be hitting your planets in Pisces. And that, especially since right now it's just Mercury and Venus, that should be good for you. Because when planets make trines, their energetics are pretty assisting. And it's usually like a generally relatively good thing. All right. Now, let's see what to do for my lip. I want to do just kind of a nude lip today, obviously, because my eyes are so, hello, I'm Neptune today. So I'm just going to keep it neutral and downplayed a little bit. I'm going to use, I got the last Mineral Fusions pencil to complete my collection. But I'm not going to use that today because it's not exactly the color that I want. I'm going to use the Mineral Fusion and the shade Elegant, which is the color that I want. And that looks like this. So I'm just going to line really quick. All right, so there's the line, just super like nudish, you know, nothing too bright. And today I'm going to use one of these little Bare Mineral lipstick minis, which I actually loved this too because I got this box. It was Celestial Magic and it had 8 different little mini lipsticks in there. Now, how could I pass this up? Right? I couldn't. Not nuts about the formula. They're a little more creamy than I really like sometimes. Not very matte, but it's okay. It'll be all right. And you know, this one, it looks good, but it's honestly a little more pink than I was wanting. Let me grab a different one. Nudist. Let's see, put this over it. Yeah, this looks a little more like what I was going for. So let me just kind of blot some of this off. I really haven't used these lipsticks like kind of at all. Just here and there. And there's so many that sometimes I get confused which is which. But this is more of the color that I was wanting. So yeah, there we go. Perfect. And then, like I do sometimes, just to like matte it down a little bit. Because these are very creamy. Like, I don't know. I'm going to take my Angel Wings setting powder from the All Natural Face and just put a little in the cap and then just press it into my lip. I like to. I think it will make it look better. Like this. All right, so that does it for the look. I'm going to throw a little bit of luminizer on really quick now and some highlight. I'm going to use this luminizer that I love using out of my 100% Pure palette. And I'm going to put this just down my nose and on my head right here and my chin. And then for my highlight, because this is just the perfect color, for my outfit, I'm going to use from my Pure by Barbie this highlight right here. Just to finish up my Neptune-themed look. I really am happy about this shade because it's like the powder form of the cream base that I put on from Pacifica out of this palette. Nope. Out of this palette. Because it's like, oh, it's like the same thing, except this is cream and this is powder. You see that? Oh, love it. Love it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a little bit, like, not a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit more heavy on the highlight today. Because I just think that this color is just, I'm going to bring it down onto my cheeks a little bit more too, to kind of bring out that original color base that I put on there. I'm loving this look, you guys. Normally when I think of, like, I like to do pastels with Pisces, and honestly, like, my whole outfit is kind of like monochrome of these colors. Like, I have like all different like shades of this like sea green on. And I'm really digging the whole look. The eyes are just like, that Lovestone palette, the shades are just so pretty. Like the sparkles, oh my god, I love them. There it is. All right, now I just need my setting powder and my setting spray. We're good to go. So now I'm just going to go over everything in this blur powder from 100% Pure. Hey guys, I forgot to mention, I'm an all natural makeup channel. I only use natural products and I love it, okay? So this stuff literally is just the best at like bringing everything together. Like it really does what it says. It blurs everything so nicely and it's just great. Yeah, it really just does a really great job of just like putting everything together, making it look like smooth and flawless. I'm gonna put a little bit on my lips too. This lipstick looks so much better with the setting spray tapped in. I don't know. They need to add like a little bit of, or setting spray, setting powder. They need to add like a little bit of that to their lipstick or something. I don't know. All right, so this is my setting spray, you guys. Cherry Matte setting spray from Pacifica. I really just like this stuff. I don't have any, well, I do have a couple other setting sprays, but I just like this. So this is just what I'm gonna use. It smells really good too. And then every time after I do my setting spray, I like to take my sponge and just kind of like pat things in so it's nice and like just set into my skin. And then that is that. Moon in Pisces, astrology, current, and as the moon goes through Pisces. Another look for the book. This is it. So pretty. I was totally trying to play off the Neptune vibe theme today, and that was inspired by my Lovestoned Aquamarine, Neptune, Uranus, Air and Water palette. AstroBeauty. So guys, here it is, my full Neptune inspired look for the moon in Pisces this month. I hope you guys enjoyed my moon in Pisces makeup for this next couple days. I hope it inspired you to do your own Pisces look, and I hope you enjoyed and got something out of my moon in Pisces astrology. I will see you guys back in just a couple of days for the moon in 3, 2, 1, blast off, Aries. Looking forward to that. Until then, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, with my sea green aquamarine eyes, AstroBeauty out.